This is by far the easiest way to be picking up new web design clients in 2026, period. The end. And let me make it really simple. There's really only two different ways that you can find web design clients. And before I go into that, just for sake of why you should listen to me, currently I'm doing 35,000 in monthly recurring revenue, specifically helping web design and SEO agencies to earn more through cold outreach to find businesses that have problematic websites in some sort of way. What these two ways are is point and simple. You either have a business that has something wrong with their website, right? It's not converting well for them. It doesn't work. It doesn't load. There's no call to actions. You name it, there's something wrong with their website. Or you have the scenario where they don't have a website at all. Now, I will note the businesses that don't have a website are not going to typically have as much money as a business that does have a website, although their problem is super painfully obvious. So, what you can do is you could definitely go to Google Maps and you can pull up roofing contractor near me, right? You've probably seen this before. So, I'm going to show you basically this website, taskblinkdemo.com. That is completely free. I can't emphasize enough. This is free. You can go watch this video, go to this website, and be like, man, that was cool. I can go get clients using this, right? It's free. Great. Okay. So what it's doing is it's pulling up Google businesses based on what you type. Very cool. Straight to the point. But what's really powerful about this is two things. So first one is that I can click find website weak spots, and it's going to tell me about what is wrong with their website in some sort of way, shape, or form, something that's gone wrong. I see weak call to action here. Where's the call to action? Hopefully you get frustrated. Then you can see, oh, is this textable phone number? What does that even mean, right? Now, this is an important distinction that is really commonly missed. Imagine you have the choice of calling a number, and the number could be a landline. I'm going to show you some examples of this. This is a landline, right? And then you're going to have, this is so perfect. Internet phone, right? These are like the three textbook examples right here. So voice over internet phone is what this means. And that is Google Voice, that's Ring Central, you name it. It's these different types of internet phones. And let's think, why do people have internet phones? They have internet phones because they don't want to use their existing number. And typically, most importantly, they want to route those phone numbers. I'm a business owner and I don't want to pick up the phones. I want somebody else to answer it. I'm going to route this call using an internet phone. Great. So that means if you call that number, you're probably not talking to anybody that's going to give you a, yes, I would like to pay you thousands of dollars. A landline, I don't think anybody really wants to be calling landlines, but imagine if the phone number associated with the Google business profile is an iPhone or Android, the likelihood that phone number is a decision maker is extremely high. The likelihood that phone number is an employee's number is very low in comparison to that number being the decision maker. So if you know that the websites are having problems, or you know that they don't have a website at all, which I'm going to show you some other examples of this, right? Where you can see there's different examples of different types of websites. And I guess didn't have this pulled up. Oh, there it is. So no website example right here. But basically, if you know already that they either don't have a website or that there's this very specific problem with the website, and that you know that when you call, you're going to be directed right to the decision maker, that is solving so much of the pain points. Think about it. Maybe you've tried this before, maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't tried to rip a bunch of cold calls, which cost you nothing. So if you're not doing it and you want more clients, pick up the phone, stop being lazy. If your number one goal is getting more clients, right? Unless you have too much work where you can't be doing, this is what you should be doing right now. You pick up the phone and it's as simple put as this. Whether it be, let's say, let me pull up a textbook example here. Let's say the problem is the site failed to load, right? So you just click on visit website and you're like, okay, that's weird. And I click see if textable. Okay, mobile line. And then you call the number and you say, hey, is this Mr. Nice Car Mobile Auto Detailing? Well, yes, it is. Okay, yeah, I just clicked on your website. Just wanted to know more. And the site's not loading. Are you aware of that? Oh, really? Whatever. You see, this is quite dramatized. But and then from that point, you go on to describe that basically, in a nutshell, if that's something, let's say they didn't know that they needed to fix, or for that matter, hey, I'm a web designer actually, and I would have no problem whatsoever with getting this up and working for you. And I actually have many other clients that I work with in this space where we can get you set up where people can make a decision to be able to use your auto detailing services. Boy, did I botch that. Let me make a little bit better of an example, right? If somebody, ultimately, if you're on this call, a lot of people go to your website to learn more before they decide to book, right? Sometimes you're going to be able to even have the option to be able to book an appointment and be able to book the detailing right on your website. And that's actually something we do with our current clients right now. Is that something that you'd want? Much better. You can see I stuttered there. And you're going to mess up too. You're going to rip these dials, and especially if you're not used to this, and you can almost just, this part of me explaining how this goes, you get it. Either one way or another, it's going to tell you the problem before you call, right? So you already know what the problem is, and you're just ripping dials, and you're asking them whether if they were aware of this, or here's what you're doing with other clients. And most importantly, you need to speak in terms of outcomes, right? And that if this is fixed, here is the results that you could expect from that. People booking through your website, getting more clients, right? You don't even know how many people are not deciding to go to your website and actually utilize it because you don't have a website, right? And you have these other examples where it says near empty page and there's just minimal information on the website, hasn't been updated in 3 years. It can be super easy to find these. And so once you know that you're speaking straight to the decision maker, that all of the websites have a problem with them or that they don't have a website at all, right? This is exactly who you want to be calling. Otherwise, you're in a situation where you're literally on Google Maps going through here, clicking into it, right? Maybe I'll call this toll-free phone number. Oh, when's the owner going to come in? Oh, your website's perfect. Oh, okay. And oh, you know what? You want to look at the website? You go and you find the website on here and you look through the website. The amount of time that's going to take. And don't get me wrong, I know a ton of web designers. That is how they started their business, right? But if you've been doing that and the problems that you've been facing is the sheer amount of time that it takes to actually get the decision maker onto the phone, the sheer amount of time that you're looking through these websites to actually find somebody to call, you can use this website. It's completely free. I will note that what's quite cool about this is that you can do thousands of results simultaneously. You can click, for example, validate 12 phones and download a CSV, boom, and then you can have a nice little CSV that'll tell you what type of phone numbers they are and what's wrong with the website. You could filter that down and then just call the ones that are good, and you could do thousands at a time. And yeah, that does cost money. But if you want to do what I'm showing you here and what you've seen so far, and you don't need to do thousands simultaneously, great. That's all free. You can use this site, cost you nothing, at least for the time being. So if you're watching this sounds cool, go ahead, check this out. I want to provide as much value as possible. And if you're like, man, this is super cool, what if I could use this information to automatically send these personalized messages to people based off the problems that they're experiencing with their website? If that's what you wanted to do, we actually do that at TaskBlink, and we'd be happy to help. To give you just a brief example, and I hope this is just showering you with value right here, because this is basically how you would set it up yourself. You could basically download this CSV, and it's going to tell you what type of problem it is, right? And then imagine you have this workflow that then, based on the type of problem, send this message, or based on this problem, send this message, based on this problem, send this message, so on and so forth, to where instead of now, this is going to hit a little bit of a pain point for a few people, instead of now saying, hey, would you like a free audit on your website? breaking news, that actually doesn't work. Don't get me wrong, you can send enough messages and someone's okay, yeah, yeah. It really doesn't work. Audit the website, tell them here's what's wrong with your website, here's what I do to fix it, here's results you can expect from it. That works. That actually works. There's a lot of proof that works. And get real, it's 2026. You need to be personalizing your cold calls, personalizing your cold outreach. That's what's actually working. And so, yeah, if it's the year's 2026, and if I wanted to pick up a ton of web design clients, I would not be lazy. I would pick up the phone and I would just reach out to the people that need my services. And I would call only the people that can make a decision to say yes and pay thousands of dollars. And I would only call those people and I would call them as fast as possible. And that is what I would do. I hope that makes crystal clear sense. And again, TaskBlink demo, go ahead, check it out. And just normal taskblink.com if you want to book a call with me, you want to learn more about how we could help you, great. End of the day, these videos are purely just to shower you guys with value and do all the cool influencer stuff, like subscribe, comment, do all that cool stuff. It's motivating for this to be continuing, but nonetheless, hope you found this valuable. That's the end of the video.